No.
Okay.
I'll keep my hat on that day, too.
I'm going to call the Village Eagles Board meeting to order. I look for an approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Public appearance and citizens' comments on items not listed on this agenda. Items will not be debated or acted upon at this meeting, but will be referred to the proper staff and committee if action is required. And please keep your comments to 3 minutes. See, there's no one that wants to speak, so we'll move on to approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 5, new business. Consideration, discussion, waiving of delinquent personal property taxes. It's on page 14 of your packet. Lauren or Kelsey, what's on?
Yep, so, you may have heard, personal property is going away after this year. So we will no longer be collecting personal property tax. That was a change in the state law. So we had a few left over from 2023, 2017, and 2013 that we've been actively trying to collect on and just have had no luck, which is unfortunately somewhat common. I will say there's one update to this. After this was printed, Vitality Food Service actually paid off their personal property tax. We've only been trying to contact them for years, but it's fine. So that one we're not writing off, but the rest we would. So it would be the total minus the 5231. And the motion, if you do make a motion to approve it, just make sure that you are specific about writing off that total, which I can give you the total because that will have to go to the county.
What does personal property tax include?
So it's taxed to the business, not the property owner. So if you're renting a space, it's taxed to the business owner and it's the furnishings within inside the business.
Okay, thank you.
Was Tri-State Restoration a place in New Glarus?
Yeah, so.
They were above the pharmacy building.
Well,
At
and
one
then,
time.
and then they were also where the
Quilt Jukes.
quilt stash place is and yeah,
Mhm.
what's the total one? The total is $754.43. So that will be the total that you will be motioning to write off.
Have we spent money trying to
Yes.
recoup these funds? Okay.
Yeah, so we spend staff time, we sent them letters, we tried to track down phone numbers. Yeah, I know Deanna has spent a considerable amount of time, especially on the Earthship Treasures and the Lysa Beach, just because those are actual people that
Yeah.
and yeah, we've gotten ghosted from them, so.
So basically, we just want to get rid of this.
Yeah, personal property is going away and it's just really not worth the staff time and cost trying to collect it, so.
Okay.
And what do you want this motion to sound like?
Just the amount.
So you motion to write off $754.43 in the personal property tax.
I motion to write off $754.43 of delinquent property taxes.
Personal property tax.
Personal property taxes, sorry.
Second.
Time.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, consideration discussion of SMFA for Transportation Alternatives Program. Grant Signalized Pedestrian Crossing Project. 15. Who's got this one?
I got this one.
Okay.
So a while ago, I think I informed the village board that we were awarded this grant. It is for 4 RRFBs, which are basically the push button signalized pedestrian crossings. There's now one in between the high school and athletic complex. So we'd be able to purchase 4 more of those. And originally we actually applied for the one that was installed, but that was installed because they wanted to get that done quicker than this grant. So we actually have 4 and we can move the location of that 4th one. Unfortunately, we can't do this project until 2027 because the state is crazy about their funding. But you know, it's good to have in our pocket down the line, but we do need to get this agreement signed. Just so you're aware, it does require a match of around $18,484. The school has committed to a portion of that. We're still working out the details. We have plenty of time to figure that out. But the total amount that the state is contributing is a little bit less than $74,000 for this project.
Okay. Just to change, one is gonna go to the highway, right?
Correct. So yeah,
That
one will
just
go.
seems dangerous with semis driving even 35 and seeing that flashing sign. Scary to me. Are they gonna do something besides just the flashing? Are they gonna decrease the speed to 25 or 20 on
So,
the highway?
so this particular crossing is the trail crossing.
Right.
So that is already being used. So this will improve the safety of that crossing. But I do know that the state is planning on doing a improvement project. What did I say? 2031? And I believe they're looking at speed reductions as part of that project.
On 69 going through New Glarus,
Yeah,
Yes,
to what speed?
hopefully 25.
yeah. I don't know for sure. That's a rumor I've heard.
I put in the request to create the street traffic safety committee guys on, and they're gonna, it said it'll take a year, but they were pretty in favor. I pushed for from the Culvers down to H to go from 55 to 35. So that should be done within a year.
Oh,
That's good.
Jeff, what about I know it's something that I've always noticed prior, the high school kids coming out of the high school onto H, and they don't stop, would it be wise to have some lights there? I mean, a lot of times they'll just pull out and pull onto H.
That's not our.
That's would be ours, okay,
Yeah, but it's a flashing light anyway, right?
right.
So it's still gonna be a caution that they're gonna run anyway. The only way to stop them is a sign.
And these are really helpful
Yeah,
for
yeah.
pedestrian and bike crossing for just increasing visibility that this is a crosswalk.
Mhm.
well, yeah, Madison has one on PG that is like,
Yeah.
I think that's 35 too.
And so we don't know how much the school is gonna pay for a portion of this.
Correct. We've not discussed specific numbers, but given that they're getting at least 2 of the 4, I would say they probably contribute half.
So what do you need from us tonight?
Just need an approval to go ahead and sign this agreement with the state.
I'll go ahead. Present.
Okay,
Second,
okay, with motion in a second, any further discussion?
no.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, item C, consideration discussion ordinance 2416, adopting a revised and codification of the ordinance of the village of New Glarus, page 25.
This is the ordinance we discussed at the last meeting. Happy to answer any questions about it, but again, these are just kind of fixing up the ordinances to meet state statute, fix any mistakes or things that contradict each other. So
This is mostly just the language changes, right?
Yeah, they were really kind of minor.
yes, they are. There's not really anything substantial. We increased some fees a little bit, but it's like going from 10 to 1,000 to 20 to 2,000, or, a lot of our fees are ranges in those.
I move to approve ordinance number 2416.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Like,
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, item D, consideration discussion village trustee appointment. If both gentlemen are here, if anybody would like to ask any questions of them?
I just thought maybe we could give them a minute or two each to say whatever they'd like to say. That works?
Sure.
John, you want to go first?
I don't honestly have a whole lot more to add outside of what I wrote in my letter. I don't think he's a bad choice to make today from what I would, for Chris. He's also a quality candidate, so unless there's specific questions, I don't feel as though I've got much to add to it.
Okay.
Chris,
Chris?
I second that. That was essentially what I wrote in my letter of intent. I stick by that. You've got a great candidate here as well.
Okay.
From reading both of yours, you both would be an asset to the village board because rec and parks, you've got some ideas I don't think we have thought about. But I've always thought it'd be advantageous to have a small business owner on the board because they're involved in a lot of the things we vote on, so. Just my comment, but I hope the one of you who isn't on it will also run again in spring.
I agree that I think it's good to have a business owner. It's also good to have new blood, especially with your background in parks.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be, no matter who gets on, we're gonna be looking for the other one of you to get on something else soon. Whether it's a position here or one of the other boards that we have going on. There's always stuff going on with parks. So I'm just happy that there's more than one. So it's good.
And I'm happy someone's interested.
Yeah,
I would say my only question, because I didn't realize that when I started, I mean, I thought I did and I didn't, is, are you both aware of what the time commitment is? It's not just this meeting, they're typically for each of us, 3 to 4 meetings a month? And then lots of people will start to call you and want to chit chat, so just like full transparency, it's a decent time commitment, maybe more than you think it is, so.
Just to make that feel clear.
Perfect.
yeah, they just know that people will come and find you wherever you are. Just so you know.
Especially if they know you.
5 minutes a month, that's what you get.
Yeah, I mean, I flew under the radar for the first couple months, but now people know, so now it's.
That's mainly because I've been handing out our address on. phone.
Yeah. I knew somebody was.
Okay, that's the only.
Everyone have a pen?
Shared ones?
So the ballots that you have, vote for only one. I know it's enticing to vote for both, but please only vote for one. I have more than 6 votes, I will know.
This is a very large ballot.
It is. That was the easiest one to make.
Well, I don't know if I don't want to take it almost.
No, I took your other time. Sorry.
This could be a record short meeting, huh?
I know.
What's the story?
I don't know, but the last couple of months we've had averaging probably an hour and 45.
But we're through the budget, so.
Yeah.
The budget was.
I
Yeah,
don't know
at the end of the year, they get shorter.
The president's report.
Once the budget.
Yes.
Well, John, welcome aboard. And thanks, Christopher, for your interest.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
We'll be in touch, Chris.
I'm good.
John,
Okay, we need a motion and a second to approve John's addition to the board. Okay,
Second.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. I think we're about done.
you don't have an hour-long presentation?
Library and.
Oh, it's just blank, doesn't say anything.
Well,
But they're
you want
here.
me to add the,
Yeah, it's on the agenda, so
standing
she-
library.
Okay.
All right, I'll just give you a real quick update. So all our grant agreement docs are turned in, so we are just waiting for them to draft that. They'll send it to us for review. We'll send it back to them and then we'll get that signed. So that's good. Tomorrow is the town meeting over at the town garage at 6 p.m. for the sale of the property. So a lot of people have been disseminating information about that. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout and that piece will be done. Right now, we're working on preliminary design yet with OPN and we're getting the groundwork done. So on December 12th, we should have test pits being dug. OPN will present to the library board on December 11th. They'll come here on December 17th to present to you. So you'll get to see the design and then we'll have a community engagement session on January 9th.
The DNR property
Yeah,
has been given to the, I hope you know that.
did see that.
Okay,
Cool.
good.
Yeah.
So we might have parking there. Couple spots.
Well, yeah, we're working on that.
So did you do that reaching out? Amy?
No, that was Lauren.
Lauren.
Lauren did all the
Yeah.
groundwork for that.
So what did you have to do to convince them that?
Just a few emails.
No
They probably
muffins,
didn't even
no
know they
donuts?
owned it.
It was done in the 70s,
So it really, there was no reason that they needed to retain that, but they're
working with us, which is great.
Okay.
There's one little quick thing that I want to add. Uh, the drilling into people's front yards.
Yep.
So like 5 years ago, they drilled to my sewer and messed it up, and it took like 3 months to find out that they had to dig up front yard line to fix it. And my next door neighbor, it happened to just, Zach, you just helped him with that. And another one down the street. So there's anything that we can do in the future to make it so, and this is not you, I'm just, since it's part of what you do. If there's anything we can do to help whoever these people are that are just happen to have a drill that goes through a yard, they get hired to do this stuff, it'd be great if they like had a little more information or something. Because although they will come in and fix his front yard and mine was marginally fixed and the other one was sort of fixed, they're all damaged now. Like my house still needs work from that, and it's on me now. So whenever the companies come in, if you can, was the map wrong?
The map was actually pretty close, but their hole, I think they missed it by like less than probably 6 inches of actually finding it.
Okay, so if it was one company and they said our maps are wrong, my main and everything are heading in a completely different direction on a different street, and mine was hit. Zach's is here and the other one's over here. So it wasn't just, there's no way that they're all wrong.
To deal with the sewer though, kind of the problem, I shouldn't say problem, but we as a village, we mark the sewer main, right? And the homeowner is basically liable for the lateral to their house.
Okay.
So when they started locating all the utilities, to drill down through, Bill, actually, the utility we actually have some information. I just don't know how accurate it is for people's sewer laterals. Like we have them on GIS, but I'm not 100% how accurate they are. Most of them were. This one was in the ballpark. They missed it by like 6 inches and then they ended up hitting it.
Okay. So it's basically not much.
And part of the problem is something that I'm assuming Bill will probably learn from. They actually went in, I believe, after they drilled and cameraed the sewer laterals. This particular house, for some reason, got missed. Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys are out there till like 11 o'clock night before Thanksgiving. I felt terrible for them.
Oh,
Me too.
Well, what was mine, it was Joe when he was out there till at least 11 or 12, and it was the bill for digging out my yard was like 15 grand.
And typically sewer laterals are deeper than 4 feet. So, I mean, that's like frost bottles. So typically sewer laterals are deeper than that. They were at 2.5 feet and they hit it. So there was a lot of kind of variables that kind of went into it, So that's the problem with underground stuff is you can't see what's underground unless you physically go, you don't know what's underground unless there's problems, basically.
I was hoping for like some other kind of answer that was gonna make it not ever happen again.
Well,
Cause I'm like still pissed about mine.
I'm not gonna
Maybe
say,
make it about you doing it.
I'm not gonna say it'll never happen again, but what I'm hoping is we've learned from this particular instance anyway. I mean, this is the only one I've been involved with.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you learn little bits at a time and hopefully get better at it, and hopefully the chances of it happening again will lessen,
Okay.
And the other thing I'll add too, just from like talking with other clerks and just other people in this, is that there's a lot of bigger cities around us that literally have no clue where their laterals are, what's in the ground, if there's lead, if there's not lead. I mean, they have no idea. So we are actually somewhat advanced in that compared to some of the other communities around us that are 20 times.
And that may be, I would just say that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
No, right,
if it's your
right.
family and your house is like.
I get it.
it doesn't make it any better for
Yep.
the whole.
No, I get it. I think it was just more of a comment of like, I think we tried to make some strides, especially with the lead line replacement. I mean, I think our staff is really putting forth a lot of effort to make sure that this does not happen as often, if at all.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that it's 3 houses within a block.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's happening? And actually they hit my water main too, which flooded my basement while they were digging the other part.
Okay, so I know nothing about this. Is there a way just to map that area that's not a total pain in the ass or no?
What's that now?
Like just that area where the three houses are, like if there is something there, is there any, like, is it even doable? to map, like 2 blocks? I'm just curious.
So you know where it is now.
The particular one that got hit, the map was probably within a couple of feet of where it actually was.
But
They just, their hole was, I mean, if you look at it, their hole's not very big. Like, they should have probably expanded their search a little bit farther before,
okay,
that's what I would say.
okay, that's it, I'm done.
I've got a question for Jeff. There's an ordinance in town about how late they can work, correct?
Yeah.
Except in an emergency situation?
That was,
Yeah, that was an emergency.
Companies get switching it.
yeah, that was for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but somebody brought it up to me about how late they
I
were.
have to look, you're going to 77.
I think it's 7 to 7.
77?
Are you sure? I thought it was 9.
I think it's that.
I think it's 7.
Really? Did it change in the last like 5 years?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, anything else from the board?
no,
I move to adjourn.
second.
Perfect.
Okay.
We are adjourned.
Holy cow.
That was really
Good.
Wow.
It's funny, so-
Yeah,